Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to use Soundtrap to record and edit interviews and to make small podcasts out of them. If at any time you're not sure about something, feel free to pause it and go back and review so you can gain understanding. So let's first of all think about what we're going to do. So first of all, we're going to put Soundtrap capture on our mobile phone so we can record the interview, and then we're going to look at Soundtrap on our computer to download those clips, and then we're going to put them into our edit play line and then edit those and make a mini podcast. So let's look at downloading it first onto our phone. So we're going to just type in Soundtrap capture on our mobile phone and download that particular app first of all. So once that's open, we're able to create an account either on this one using the Apple account, or in this case I've just created my own email account and done it that way. Putting in my birthday, yes, thank you very much, I do sound younger, don't I? And then it's just going through some security measures here where we just type in the code they've given us. Then you've got to just do a bit of verification by just clicking on the email they send you and then clicking on the verification link they send you, just to make sure you are who you are and you're not a robot. And once you've done that, you're in to the recording part of it. So with the recording app, all you got to do is press record and away you go to record your first one. It'll use the microphone you've got on your phone or the microphone you plug into your phone. Now on this occasion I pressed record twice by accident, so that's why you can see two of them there, but essentially you press record and then off you go with your interview, and we'll hear how that went. So what I've done here is I've recorded two clips here, Untitled Song 4 and Untitled Song 3. One of those is the interview and the other one is my cue to get me into the podcast interview. And there they are as Untitled Song 4 and Untitled Song 3. So what that's now doing is uploading that to the cloud so we can retrieve that on the web app on our computer. So if we go to the computer now and we go to soundtrap.com, and then we go to login, and we use the login details we created when we created the account on our phone. So make sure you keep a note of your email address and the password you gave, and then we'll log in with that. What it'll now do is ask you to select a plan. You've got a 1 month free trial on this, so it's easy to opt out, but essentially you add in your credit card details and then you just select the plan. On this occasion you select the Storyteller plan, and just to show you here, it is quite easy to, if you click on the three dots there, go into subscription and you can cancel that quite easily. So it's quite simple and straightforward to cancel that once you've done it. So here are the clips that we've recorded on our phones and they've uploaded to the cloud. And what we're going to do, just to make sure we've got a copy of this, and it's not just on the cloud, we've got a copy of it on our computer, I'm downloading both these clips to my hard drive on my computer, and I tend to get a little bit organized on this, so I have a folder called raw. Just renaming this now as this is the interview, this is the podcast interview with my poor son who was having a lie down really, and after a really hard day's work. And then this is my other one, which is my cue that I've written for my introduction. So I just download this and it'll download to my downloads folder, and then I'll rename it. This one's the introduction, so I've just called it the teaser. It's my intro, and then I'll do that. So then I've got my cue that I've written that I've called teaser, and then my interview itself. So now I go into Soundtrap and I click Enter Studio. This one's a podcast, and now I've got to create a brand new track. So what I can do is actually just go into my interview first of all, and I can just drag that in and it'll import it for me straight away, which is brilliant. So now I can play this interview with my poor son who was so tired. So here I am talking to my son Ben, who's had a really hard day. On a scale of 1 to So what we're going to do now is just find the beginning of that and just trim that. What we do is we click and hold the end of that, and then that allows us to basically trim that into where I physically start.
Today, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not really and 10 being I'm really enthusiastic, how enthusiastic are you at talking to me right now?
0.
Have you got much voice left?
No.
Have you got much?
I think we'll stop that to share his blushes, bless him. So now I'm finding a point to edit then. If you notice, what I can do is I can split the audio there by pressing Control E or Command E on a computer, and then that will split the two bits. Now this is what they call non-destructive, so it means if you make a mistake you can undo it. The whole interview is always there, so ideally you don't make a mistake, but you can just do that. So we're going to clip it and just cut it there to take out his poor blushes because he wasn't very well
Today, tell me.
David, we just do this. Can we not do this another time?
So what we're going to do now is find a nice point to end it, just to give you an example of what we're going to do. So we're just going to basically find out how he is and then get out of there really, really quickly.
So there we go. There you go. A very tired son. How tired are you?
Get away.
There you go. That's my son. Anyway, thank you very much, Ben, for talking to me.
So we're just going to go to thank you very much for talking to me. I think we should get out of there and leave the poor lad alone. He's had a long day.
Anyway.
So what I'm doing now is just finding the exact point I need. I'm going to bring that trim tool to where my play line is, where I say anyway, and then just drag the two together so then we make a nice little clean edit there. And we check that.
Being I'm really enthusiastic. How enthusiastic are you at talking to me right now?
0.
Anyway, thank you very much, Ben, for talking to me.
Just leave me alone.
And that's where we'll end it. So we'll end it just there, and then we're going to clip that last bit and just kind of just tidy up that end bit there. And we just drag and hold that, and then that's
enthusiastic. How enthusiastic are you at talking?
There's an extra little mistake there where I say the T word twice. So we're going to take that out. We're going to take that little stumble out, and if we zoom all the way in, we can see a bit more detail of the sound wave. And we can see there that there's actually, we can see the two T's. We need to cut at the beginning of the first T and then also cut at the beginning of the next T, so we don't lose any of the rhythm of the speech. So we're going to find that, and we can see where the first T is, and we see where the second T is, so we just cut. And we'll take that out, drag and hold my mouse just to select both those clips, and then bring those in there so it makes it nice and neat. Then we'll just check that edit to make sure it sounds right.
How enthusiastic are you at talking to me right now?
0.
Anyway, thank you very much, Ben, for talking to me.
Just leave me alone.
So poor old Ben, who has had a really long day. That's the best we can do for that particular podcast. So now we're going to look at our cue in, our teaser, and we're going to just see what that sounds like.
Hello and welcome to today's podcast, where I find out that if I go straight into my son's bedroom after working a long day in the village shop, will he actually talk to me, or will he even be nice to me?
So I think thinking about.
Hello.
So we're going to look at that.
Hello.
Yeah, we're going to look at that.
Hello.
We're just going to find the beginning of that, make sure we know what that is, and then just trim that audio so it starts the minute I start speaking, and trim that in. And then what we're going to do now is
actually talk to me.
And I think actually we'll take out that last bit because it's not as strong. We're repeating really.
Today's podcast, where I find out that if I go straight into my son's bedroom after working a long day in the village shop, will he actually talk to me?
There we go. So actually the last bit wasn't really needed, so that's what we've got. Now we're going to get a bit of music, and we're going to think about a music bed to kind of tease that I can talk over to get ready for the main bit. So we're going to put this intro over a little music bed. We're going to have a listen to that and see what that music bed sounds like. So I had something quite, not really very loud, quite something quite unobtrusive, and we're going to put that over the top and see what that sounds like.
Hello and welcome to today's podcast, where I find out.
So it's quite a clip there really. Actually, what we noticed there is that the music and me comes in straight away, so I'm going to just let the music start just a fraction second before me, so then it gives the listener just a slight second to know something's happening. So we're just going to move that slightly. like that. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the level of the bed down slightly so I don't sound so drowned out by it. And what we do that is we do press automation, and then we can press volume. So now I can just adjust the volume and make that sound nice. So at that bit there, I'm going to keep the volume where it is, but then bring it down after I speak.
Hello and welcome to today's podcast where I find out that if I go straight into my son's bedroom after working a...
So I'll stop that there, and what I'll do is I'll now go to the end and just take that bit of music out by just by splitting it, and then taking the bit I don't want. I can either press the delete key or select right click and delete there. So now I've got my intro over a bit of a bed, and what I'm going to do now is bring in a little stab, a little bit of a music stab, and it sounds a little bit like this. So that music there has what we call a pre-roll. So it means that there's kind of a little bit of a run up to it. So if we're really clever, we can use that music bed and then run the pre-roll underneath and mix the two in and make it sound quite slick. So let's do that. So let's just... there. So that's where it starts. Just there. So we're going to move that there to just after I finish talking. So now we're going to just adjust the volume. We know that's where the music starts. So we're going to keep our keyframe there because that's the volume of it, that's fine. And we're going to just fade it in because it rolls in. And then at the top there, we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to fade that one out. So one fades in and one fades out.
Will he actually talk to me?
So that sounds quite seamless there, doesn't it? Sounds right. I'm just going to move that slightly because it comes in a little bit too quick.
Will he actually talk to me?
There we go. So now we need to find out where the music ends, which is about there. And then we're going to bring the wonderful interview with my poor lad in there and just see how that comes in.
So here I am, talking.
That doesn't sound too bad. Oops. There we go. So what am I doing now? So I'm going to take a copy of that and I'm going to use that bit of music, just the stab at the end, to end it off. So I'm going to take the small little orchestral stab right at the very end. What I'm going to do now is go all the way in to see a bit more of the, waveform, so I can get the music at exactly the right point I need it. So quite a granular look at the music, so I can get that final orchestral stab. And then once I know what that is, I'm going to split that off and then take the bit I don't need and put that at the end of the interview and just see how that sounds.
Just leave me alone.
About there, that's good. I really felt sorry for him. They're so good-natured, my kids. Okay, and let's have a listen to the whole thing.
Hello and welcome to today's podcast where I find out that if I go straight into my son's bedroom after working a long day in the village shop, will he actually talk to me? So here I am, talking to my son Ben, who's had a really, really hard day. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not really and 10 being I'm really enthusiastic. How enthusiastic are you at talking to me right now?
0.
Anyway, thank you very much, Ben, for talking to me.
Just leave me alone.
I better go make him a cup of tea now and say sorry.